Let's talk about a situation that almost every man has been in. You meet someone who seems perfect. You hit it off, and at first, texting her feels effortless. The banter is fun, her replies are instant, and you can't wait to see her name pop up on your screen. It's like electricity. You're convinced this is going somewhere. But then, things start to shift. Her texts get shorter, her replies slower. The emojis and enthusiasm you used to get, gone. Suddenly, it feels like you're the one carrying the weight of every conversation. And no matter what you try, whether it's sending her a funny meme, asking how her day was, or even sending that risky double text, it feels like you're losing her. And the worst part, you can't figure out why. It starts messing with your head. You start second-guessing yourself. Should you say something different? Should you wait longer to reply? Should you text her at all? It's like walking on eggshells, trying to spark her interest again without coming off as desperate. And yet, the more you try, the colder she seems to get. Here's the harsh truth. This isn't just about what you're texting her. It's about the energy you're putting into the interaction. Women can sense when a guy's emotions are riding on their attention. It's like an invisible signal, and the moment she feels that, the attraction fades. Why? Because attraction isn't about over-effort or proving yourself. It's about creating curiosity, mystery, and connection. The more you chase, the faster she pulls away. Now, before you start thinking, so what do I do? Stop caring. Hold on. The solution isn't to become cold or distant. It's about shifting your mindset and understanding the dynamics of attraction. You see, women are naturally drawn to men who embody self-assuredness, confidence, and purpose. These traits aren't things you just pretend to have. They come from within. And here's where Stoicism and dark psychology come into play. Stoicism teaches us how to control what we can and let go of what we can't. It's about mastering your emotions so that external events, like a slow text reply, don't dictate your self-worth. Dark psychology, on the other hand, reveals the subtle, powerful triggers that create attraction. When you combine these two, you stop being the guy who's overthinking every text and start being the guy who makes her curious, excited, and even a little nervous to text you first. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. We'll break down principles that are rooted in Stoic wisdom, sharpened by psychology, and proven to work. And we're not stopping at theory. I'm giving you practical, flirty text examples you can use today to spark attraction and keep her intrigued. By the end, you'll not only understand what keeps her interested over text, but you'll also realize how this mindset can transform the way you approach all relationships, not just romantic ones. And if you're serious about leveling up, take a moment right now to like this video, subscribe, and drop a comment saying, "I choose to be the storm's master." Because mastering this isn't just about her, it's about mastering yourself. Number 1. The power of indifference. Let me start with a harsh truth. Women aren't attracted to men who seem desperate for their attention. In fact, the more you try to prove your worth to her over text, the less interested she'll become. Why? Because neediness, whether it's obvious or subtle, is the ultimate attraction killer. This is where Stoic indifference becomes your most powerful tool. In Stoicism, there's a core principle: focus only on what you can control and let go of what you can't. When it comes to texting, this means understanding that her replies, her energy, and her interest are not things you can force. What you can control is how you respond, and more importantly, how much of your energy you're willing to give. Indifference doesn't mean ignoring her or being cold. It means being emotionally steady. It means not obsessing over when she'll text back or what she thinks of you. It's about showing her, through your actions, that while you enjoy talking to her, you don't need her attention to feel complete. And here's the magic of it. When you show her that her validation isn't your priority, she'll naturally become more curious about you. Think about it. Who's more intriguing? The guy who drops everything to reply the moment she texts, or the guy who responds when he can without rushing? because he's genuinely focused on his own life. Women are drawn to men who have purpose and self-assurance, not men who seem like they're waiting around for a reply. Here's how to apply this in practice. Let's say she texts you, "Hey, how's your day?" Instead of instantly replying with a long paragraph about everything you've done, keep it simple. "Pretty good so far. What about you?" And then wait. Let her reply before you continue the conversation. This subtle pause communicates that you're not over-invested, and it gives her the chance to pursue you a little. Or imagine you're in the middle of a conversation and she suddenly stops replying. Instead of panicking and sending a follow-up text like, "Are you still there?" which screams insecurity, just let it go. Give her space. When she's ready, she'll reach out again. And if she doesn't, that's fine too. You're not losing sleep over it because your sense of self-worth isn't tied to her response. Here's a text example to try. If she says something vague like, "I've just been so busy lately," don't fall into the trap of asking too many questions or seeming overly eager. Instead, respond with, "Busy is good, means you're out there making moves. Let me know when you're free to catch up." That's it. You're calm, confident, and detached from the outcome. She'll feel the difference. The power of indifference is this. You're showing her that while you enjoy talking to her, your life doesn't revolve around her. And when she senses that steadiness in you, she'll want to invest more into the conversation. So remember, control what you can and let go of the rest. If this is making sense to you and you're ready to embody this mindset, comment below. I'm in control of my story. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Number 2, build anticipation through scarcity. Let's dive into something that most men overlook, the power of scarcity. Have you ever noticed how the things we desire most are often the things we can't have? It's human nature. We value what feels rare, what feels just out of reach. This psychological principle applies perfectly to texting, and it's one of the keys to keeping her intrigued. Here's the problem. Too many guys make themselves too available. They respond immediately. They're always the one initiating. They never leave room for mystery. And while their intentions might be good, they just want to show her they care. It ends up having the opposite effect. Constant availability makes you predictable. Predictability kills excitement, and excitement is what keeps her interested. Scarcity, on the other hand, creates anticipation. It keeps her guessing and wondering, what's he up to? Or why hasn't he replied yet? That little spark of curiosity can do more for attraction than a dozen perfectly crafted texts. But scarcity isn't about playing games or ghosting her. It's about finding a rhythm that keeps her intrigued while staying authentic to your own life. Here's how to use this principle in practice. If she texts you something simple, like, "What's up?" don't feel the need to give a detailed, immediate response. Instead, take your time. Maybe wait 30 minutes or even an hour before replying. Then send something light but engaging. "Just finished a workout. You?" Not only are you showing her that you're busy with your own life, but you're also subtly inviting her to invest more in the conversation. Now, let's talk about ending a conversation. Too many guys drag it out, trying to keep her attention as long as possible. But the truth is, leaving a conversation on a high note, when things are still fun, makes her want more. If she's laughing or really engaged, try something like this. "You're trouble, you know that, but I've got to run. Let's catch up later." This leaves her smiling, thinking about you, and looking forward to the next text. Another tactic. Don't always be the one to restart the conversation. Let her be the one to reach out sometimes. If she values your connection, she'll make the effort. And when she does, respond with the same steady confidence. For example, if she texts you, "Hey, I missed talking to you," don't overplay your excitement. Say something like, "Missed me already? I guess I'm pretty unforgettable." It's playful, flirty, and keeps the energy light. Scarcity isn't about manipulation. It's about creating space for her to appreciate your value. When you're not constantly available, she starts to see you as someone who has a full, exciting life, a life she wants to be part of. So here's your takeaway. Stop overexposing yourself. Let her experience the excitement of waiting for your reply. Show her that you're a guy who's got his own thing going on, and she'll naturally start chasing your attention instead of the other way around. If you're ready to put this into practice, comment below. I create space for desire. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. The next principle will show you how to amplify this with the allure of mystery. Number 3. The allure of mystery. Here's a secret most guys don't realize. Women are naturally drawn to mystery. It's not about being secretive or playing hard to get. It's about leaving just enough unsaid to make her want to know more. Think about the last time you watched a show with a cliffhanger ending. You couldn't wait to see what happened next, right? That same feeling applies to attraction. When you're a little unpredictable, a little hard to pin down, she can't help but stay intrigued. The problem is, most guys do the exact opposite. They overshare. They reveal everything about themselves in the first few conversations, hoping that being an open book will make her trust them or like them more. But in reality, this approach kills curiosity. If she feels like she already knows everything about you, there's no reason for her to keep exploring who you are. So how do you cultivate mystery over text? Start by being intentional with the details you share. For example, if she asks you, "What did you do today?" don't list out every single thing. Instead, give her a glimpse into your day, something intriguing that makes her want to know more. Try something like, "Had an interesting morning, met someone who completely changed how I think about something. How about you?" Now she's curious. Who did you meet? What did they say? And you've created an opportunity for her to ask follow-up questions. Another way to build mystery is through teasing. For instance, if she says, "Tell me something about you I don't know," resist the urge to go deep right away. Instead, playfully respond with something light but intriguing. I could, but I'd have to make you guess first." This keeps the conversation fun and puts her in a position where she's actively investing in uncovering more about you. Timing also plays a huge role in maintaining mystery. Don't be predictable in your texting patterns. If you're always replying at the same time or with the same energy, it becomes routine. Instead, mix things up. Sometimes reply quickly, and other times let a message sit for a while. This unpredictability keeps her on her toes and wondering what you're up to. And here's a bonus tip. Keep your plans to yourself until you need to share them. If she asks what you're doing this weekend, instead of giving her a full itinerary, keep it vague. Got a few things lined up? Might be a fun weekend. You? Not only does this make you seem busy and interesting, but it also subtly suggests that you have options, which is incredibly attractive. Ultimately, mystery is about creating a sense of discovery. It makes her feel like there's always more to learn about you, more to uncover. And that's the kind of intrigue that keeps her interested, even when you're not texting her. If you're ready to become the kind of guy she can't stop thinking about, drop a comment below. I am the mystery she craves. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more insights. The next principle will show you how to use compliments strategically to deepen attraction. Number 4. Mastering subtle compliments. Let's talk about compliments. Most guys either overdo it or don't do it at all. You've probably seen it, guys flooding her texts with, "You're so beautiful," "You're perfect," or "I can't stop thinking about you." At first it might seem sweet, but over time it loses its impact. Why? Because when compliments are excessive or generic, they start to feel cheap, like they're something you say to every girl, not something special for her. On the flip side, some guys avoid compliments entirely, thinking it'll make them seem aloof or hard to impress. But here's the truth. The right compliment, delivered the right way, can spark a deep emotional connection and set you apart. The key is to be subtle and specific. Compliments shouldn't just be about her appearance. They should make her feel truly seen and appreciated for who she is. Here's an example. Instead of saying, "You're so pretty," try something more thoughtful, like, "There's something about the way you see the world. It's refreshing." This kind of compliment goes beyond the surface. It tells her that you notice the unique things about her, and that's powerful. She won't just feel flattered, she'll feel understood. Another great tactic is to tie your compliments to an observation about her personality. For instance, if she tells you about a challenge she overcame, you could say, "I love how determined you are. It's inspiring." Notice how this shifts the focus from a generic compliment to something deeply personal. It also creates a natural segue into a deeper conversation about what drives her. But here's the golden rule. Compliments are like spices. They enhance the flavor, but too much ruins the dish. You don't need to compliment her in every conversation. In fact, the less frequent your compliments, the more impact they have. Drop them sparingly and only when they're genuine. You can also make your compliments playful and flirty. For example, if she says something funny, you could reply, "You're trouble, aren't you? But I like it." This keeps the mood light while still making her feel appreciated. Or if she sends you a cute selfie, instead of gushing over how pretty she looks, say something like, "This isn't fair. How am I supposed to focus with you looking like that?" It's confident, flirty, and avoids sounding overly serious. One final tip. Know when to leave a compliment hanging. Don't follow it up with an explanation or justification. For instance, if you say, "I love how passionate you are about that," stop there. Let her sit with it. She'll feel the weight of your words more when you let them stand alone. Mastering subtle compliments is about showing her that you notice the things that make her unique. It's not about inflating her ego. It's about building a connection that feels real and personal. And when you do this right, she won't just feel appreciated, she'll feel drawn to you. If this resonates with you, and you're ready to make your words count, drop a comment below. I make my words unforgettable. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. The next principle will show you how to communicate purpose over text, which is one of the most attractive traits you can display. Number 5, communicate purpose, not neediness. Let me ask you a question. What's more attractive? A guy whose every text screams, "Please notice me," or a guy whose texts subtly show that he's chasing his goals, not just her attention? It's obvious, right? Women are naturally drawn to men who have purpose, guys who know where they're going and aren't waiting around for someone to validate them. This is where most guys go wrong. They make the conversation about her instead of letting her see the larger story of who he is. Here's what you need to understand. Texting isn't just about keeping her entertained. It's about giving her a glimpse into your world, a world that's already fulfilling and exciting, with or without her. When you text with purpose, you show her that you're not looking for her to complete you. Instead, you're inviting her to join you on the journey. So how do you communicate purpose over text? Start by subtly weaving in what drives you. For instance, if she asks, "What's up?" don't just say, "Nothing much." Use it as an opportunity to show her what you're about. "Just finished working on this project I've been really into. Feels good to see progress." Now she's intrigued. "What's the project? Why does it matter to you?" You've opened a door for a deeper connection while showing her that your life has meaning beyond her texts. Another example. Let's say she asks about your weekend plans. Instead of saying, "Nothing planned yet, try this. Got a hike lined up on Saturday, then working on some ideas for this business I'm trying to launch." This shows her two things. You value adventure and self-improvement, and you're focused on building something bigger than yourself. Both are incredibly attractive traits. But here's the catch. Don't overdo it. Communicating purpose isn't about bragging. It's about showing her, through small, natural details, that you're a man with a mission. You don't need to lay out your 10-year plan over text. Just drop hints about the things that matter to you and let her ask questions if she's curious. And remember, purpose is also reflected in how you respond to her texts. For example, if she starts venting about something trivial, resist the urge to jump in with endless sympathy or solutions. Instead, acknowledge her feelings without letting the conversation derail into negativity. Say something like, "That sounds frustrating, but you'll handle it. You always do." This shows her that you're supportive without losing your own emotional balance. Here's another tip. When you're busy, don't hide it. If she texts you while you're in the middle of something important, let her know. Say, "Can't talk right now, finishing up something. I'll text you later." This might seem simple, but it sends a powerful message. Your life doesn't stop just because she texted. And when you do get back to her, she'll respect you more for it. When you text with purpose, you set yourself apart from the guys who make her the center of their universe. You show her that you're already living a full, meaningful life, and that being part of it is a privilege, not a necessity. If you're ready to embody this mindset, drop a comment below. My purpose defines me. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, because the next principle will take this even further by showing you how to use time strategically to build suspense and attraction. Number 6. Strategic use of time. Let's talk about time, not just how you use it in your own life, but how you use it in your interactions with her. Here's something most guys don't realize. Timing is everything when it comes to attraction. How quickly you reply, how long you let the conversation breathe, and even when you choose to end a text exchange, all play a huge role in keeping her interested. Why is this so powerful? Because time creates suspense, and suspense creates curiosity. Think about it. When a movie cuts to a cliffhanger or leaves a big question unanswered, you can't stop thinking about it. The same psychological principle applies to texting. If you're always replying instantly or dragging conversations on endlessly, there's no suspense, no curiosity, no excitement. But let me be clear, this isn't about playing games or intentionally making her wait for hours. It's about creating a natural rhythm that shows her you value your time and have a life outside of your phone. When you do this, it subtly communicates that you're someone worth waiting for. Here's an example. Let's say she texts you something like, "What are you up to?" Instead of dropping everything to reply right away, take a beat. Wait 10, 20, or even 30 minutes before responding, depending on what you're doing. Then, keep your reply short, but engaging. Just wrapped up at the gym. You? This keeps the conversation light and gives her just enough to want more without feeling like you're overly invested. Now let's flip the script. If you're in the middle of a great conversation, know when to end it. Most guys make the mistake of letting the exchange drag on until it fizzles out. Instead, leave her wanting more. For example, if things are flowing well, say something like, "All right, I've got to run, but this has been fun. Let's pick this up later." Ending on a high note keeps the energy alive and makes her look forward to the next time you text. Another powerful way to use time is by letting her reach out first sometimes. If you're always the one starting the conversation, she may start to take your attention for granted. Give her the space to miss you. If she hasn't texted you in a day or two, don't panic and send a random message. Instead, let her wonder where you've been. More often than not, she'll reach out on her own. And when she does, your response should be steady and confident, not overly eager. Here's a flirty way to handle this. If she texts, "Hey stranger," don't rush to explain why you've been busy. Instead, keep it light. "Stranger, you've been thinking about me, haven't you?" This shifts the focus back on her in a playful way while still maintaining your confidence. Finally, Don't be afraid to slow things down if a conversation feels one-sided. If she's giving short, uninterested replies, don't try to force it. Pull back, give her time, and let her come to you when she's ready. Sometimes the most attractive thing you can do is show her that you're not desperate for the interaction to continue. Strategic use of time isn't just about texting, it's a reflection of how you live your life. When you value your time, others will too, and that's magnetic. If you're ready to master the timing game, drop a comment below. I own my time. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, because the next principle will take things to the next level by showing you how to use vulnerability strategically to build a deeper connection. Number 7. Leverage vulnerability. Here's a principle that might surprise you. The right kind of vulnerability can make her feel deeply connected to you. But before you misunderstand, let me make something clear. Vulnerability doesn't mean oversharing or unloading your life story in her inbox. It's not about spilling your emotions recklessly. True vulnerability, when done strategically, is about showing her glimpses of your authentic self in a way that feels raw and real, but still keeps her intrigued. The problem is, most guys go too far in one direction. They either try to act invincible, never letting their guard down, or they lean too far into emotional oversharing, coming off as insecure or overwhelming. Neither extreme works. To create attraction, you need balance. You need to show her that you're human, but also someone who's strong enough to carry your own emotional weight. Here's how you do it. Vulnerability works best when it's subtle and contextual. For example, let's say she asks you about a tough moment in your life. Instead of brushing it off with a joke or diving into a long emotional monologue, give her a glimpse into your mindset. You might say something like, "Yeah, I went through something tough last year, but it taught me a lot about resilience. I wouldn't be the person I am now without it." This response is honest and real, but it doesn't put her in a position where she feels like she has to fix you. Another great way to show vulnerability is through humor. Self-deprecating jokes, when used sparingly, can make you seem approachable and confident. For instance, if you're talking about a challenge you faced, you could say, "It wasn't my finest moment, but hey, at least I didn't burn the kitchen down this time." It shows her that you're not afraid to laugh at yourself while keeping the mood light. Vulnerability also plays a huge role in flirting. For example, if she teases you about something, lean into it with a playful response like, "Okay, fine, you caught me, I'm totally bad at that. Guess I'll need you to teach me." This creates a moment of connection while also inviting her to engage more with you. One of the most powerful ways to use vulnerability is by sharing your aspirations and fears in a subtle way. For example, if she asks you what you want out of life, don't be afraid to let her see a piece of your soul. Say something like, "Honestly, I want to build something meaningful. I don't have all the answers yet, but I'm figuring it out as I go." This shows her that you're not perfect, but you're driven, and that's incredibly attractive. But here's the golden rule. Vulnerability only works when it's balanced with confidence. You're showing her a piece of your inner world, but you're not looking to her for validation or support. When you own your vulnerability, it comes off as strength, not weakness. Here's a quick text example. If you're talking about a personal challenge, you could say, "It wasn't easy, but it taught me that I'm stronger than I thought." What's something you've been through that's shaped you? Notice how you're not just sharing, you're also inviting her to open up, creating a deeper connection. When done right, vulnerability isn't just attractive, it's unforgettable. It makes her feel like she knows the real you, the man behind the confidence and jokes, and that's what creates a bond that lasts. If this resonates with you and you're ready to use vulnerability as a strength, drop a comment below. I turn my trials into triumphs. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because the next principle will show you how to flip the script and make her invest in the conversation. Number 8. Flip the script and make her invest. Here's the thing about attraction. It works best when it's a two-way street. If you're the one doing all the work, texting first, carrying the conversation, asking all the questions, she's not truly investing in you. And when she's not investing, her interest fades fast. To keep her intrigued, you need to flip the script and make her put effort into the interaction. Most guys think they need to constantly entertain a woman or keep the conversation going to hold her interest. But the truth is, the more energy you pour in without letting her contribute, the less invested she becomes. Think about it. When was the last time you truly valued something that was handed to you with no effort? Humans value what they work for, and this applies to relationships too. So how do you make her invest? The first step is to stop chasing and start leading. Instead of bombarding her with questions, make statements that invite her to respond. For example, instead of asking, "What kind of music do you like?" you could say, "You strike me as someone who has a great taste in music. Prove me right." This flips the dynamic. You're not begging for her input. You're challenging her to engage with you. Another way to make her invest is by creating open-ended conversations. Instead of giving her all the details or answers, leave some things unsaid so she has to ask. For example, if she says, "What are you up to?" don't just say, "Watching Netflix." Instead, go with something like, "Catching up on something interesting. Guess what it is?" Now she's curious, and she has to make the effort to find out more. Playful teasing is another great tool. For instance, if she says something about her favorite food, you could respond with, "Let me guess, it's something super basic, like pizza." This kind of teasing is light-hearted and fun, and it encourages her to play along and prove you wrong. The key here is to create a back-and-forth dynamic that keeps her engaged. Another powerful tactic is to make her feel like she's earning your attention. If she asks you a direct question, like, "What are you doing this weekend?" don't immediately give her a full answer. Instead, say something like, "I don't know if I should tell you. You might get jealous." This keeps the tone playful while making her curious about your plans. Finally, know when to pull back and let her take the reins. If you've been the one initiating most of the conversations, step back for a day or two and see if she reaches out first. When she does, respond confidently, but don't overdo it. For example, if she texts, "Hey, I haven't heard from you," you could reply with, "Oh, so you noticed? I thought you forgot about me." It's playful, but it also shows that you're not just sitting around waiting for her. When she starts putting in effort, reward her with your attention and energy. Let her know you appreciate it, but never come across as overly grateful or surprised. For example, if she asks you a question or shares something personal, say, "I like that you're curious. Makes this more fun." This keeps the dynamic balanced while encouraging her to continue investing. Making her invest isn't about manipulation. It's about creating a dynamic where both people contribute to the connection. When she feels like she's working to earn your attention, it deepens her interest and makes the relationship feel more meaningful. If this principle makes sense to you and you're ready to flip the script, drop a comment below. She earns my energy. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, because the next principle will tie everything together with a grand finale that shows you how to create a lasting connection. Number 9. Master the art of escalation. Attraction doesn't stay in one place. It either grows or it fades. And one of the most common mistakes men make over text is keeping things stuck at the same level. You'll hear guys say, "She used to seem so into me, but now it feels like she's bored." Most of the time, it's because they never escalated the dynamic. Escalation is the process of deepening the interaction, moving it from surface-level chatter to something more meaningful, exciting, or flirtatious. Think of escalation like turning the dial on a stereo. If you keep the volume too low for too long, the interaction will lose its energy. But if you crank it up too high, too fast, it'll overwhelm her. The key is to find the right balance. progressing in small, natural steps that keep her engaged without making her feel uncomfortable. Here's how to do it. Start by adding layers to your conversation. For instance, if she mentions something casual like her love for coffee, instead of just agreeing with her, take it up a notch. "Coffee's great, but I bet you can't handle a real espresso. It's not for the faint of heart." This escalates the tone of the conversation into playful territory, making it more dynamic and memorable. Another form of escalation is transitioning from logical topics to emotional ones. If you've been talking about work or hobbies, look for moments to ask deeper questions like, "What's one thing you've always wanted to do but never had the chance?" This creates an emotional connection and takes the conversation to a more meaningful level. Flirting is also a key part of escalation. If she teases you, don't just laugh it off. Mirror her energy and push it further. For example, if she says, "You're so full of yourself," respond with, "Hey, I can't help it if I'm a catch. Don't worry, I'll save some humility for later." This keeps the playful tension alive and encourages her to keep engaging with you. Physical escalation can also be hinted at through texting in subtle ways. For example, if you're talking about your ideal vacation, you could say, "I'd love to explore a place like that, but only with someone who can keep up. Think you're up for the challenge?" This plants the idea of shared experiences and subtly introduces physical proximity into the conversation. The key to mastering escalation is to stay calibrated. Pay attention to her responses. If she's engaging enthusiastically, keep dialing it up. If she pulls back or seems hesitant, slow down and bring the conversation back to a comfortable level. Escalation is a dance, not a race. When you know how to escalate, you'll keep the dynamic alive and exciting, making her feel like every interaction with you is a new adventure. If you're ready to take your conversations to the next level, drop a comment below, "I level up attraction," and don't forget to like and subscribe, because the final principle is coming up next, where we tie it all together for lasting connection. Number 10. How to keep her hooked. By now, you've learned the principles that can completely transform the way you text and connect with her. From mastering indifference to building anticipation, creating mystery, and making her invest, every step is designed to flip the dynamics of attraction in your favor. But here's the thing, these principles don't just apply to texting. They're about becoming the kind of man who naturally draws people in. The kind of man who lives with purpose, confidence, and emotional balance. Let's recap how it all comes together. Indifference shows her you're not chasing her validation, making you instantly more intriguing. Scarcity and mystery keep her curious and excited to learn more about you. Subtle compliments and vulnerability create moments of genuine connection. Purpose shows her you're grounded and going places, while timing and escalation build tension and keep the interaction fresh. When you combine all these, you stop being just another guy in her inbox. You become the one she can't stop thinking about. But there's one final piece to the puzzle: consistency. Attraction is built over time. You can't just use these principles once or twice and expect her to stay hooked forever. You have to live these ideas. They have to become part of who you are, not just tactics you pull out when you're texting her. This is what separates the guys who get short-term attention from the ones who build long-term desire. Here's one last practical tip to leave you with. When the conversation is going well, don't hesitate to suggest taking it offline. For example, if she says, "You're so funny," respond with, "If you think I'm funny now, just wait until we hang out in person. When are you free?" The confidence in your approach shows her that you're not afraid to lead, and it sets the stage for something more meaningful. At the end of the day, the secret to keeping her interested isn't about texting her perfectly. It's about being the kind of man who captivates her both online and offline, and that starts with you. Master yourself, and the rest will follow. If this message resonates with you, drop a comment below. I create connections that last. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And remember, you're not just here to learn how to text better, you're here to become better. Keep going, and I'll see you in the next video.